Hello students, very good afternoon. Today I will continue my session with a new topic, that is 8259. What is a programmable interrupt controller, right? And in short we can say it PIC, that means programmable interrupt controller, right? Okay, so before going to my lecture, I would like to prefer to do some recapitulation of what we have done in my class, that means up to yesterday, right? Okay, so before that I can say we have started this interfacing part, right? Very earlier, because we have already covered many things, like many peripherals with 8085, how to interface them, how the control signals are exchanged, how the handshaking signals are exchanged, and what is the objective of programmable logic device, and how can we replace according to our requirement, according to user requirement. Everything we have covered, right? And for that purpose we have already came to know that how the input or output device can be interfaced, how A to D or D to A converter can be interfaced, and previously we have done that how the serial communication takes place with the help of 8085, right? And serial communication means parallel to serial conversion or serial to parallel conversion, right? Because all the microcomputer prefers parallel communication, right? Because it's a short range communication, right? But for long range communication we will prefer serial communication. Okay, so we have studied the chip 8251, and that is very usually known as USART, USART, right? So that means universal synchronous asynchronous transmitter receiver, right? So that is in IC form, we can say it 8251, that we have already covered in our previous lecture, right? And whenever we have gone through this lecture, you have all noticed that what are the necessary pin diagram, and what are the common signals that is can be easily interfaced between the processor and the peripherals, because something would be common, right? Because something must be common, because otherwise we can't go for connecting, we can't go for interfacing, right? So some common portion will be there. By using that we can easily do the interfacing part. Okay, so we have already covered this thing up to till now, right? Okay, so today we will continue a very interesting thing, a very interesting module, that is again I am telling that the interfacing with 8085, but our programmable logic device has been changed and it is 8259, that means programmable interrupt controller. Okay, now, so what is PIC, right? What is PIC? So from the name, that means programmable interrupt controller, right? So there is a main word that is highlighting in the middle, that is interrupt. Okay, so what is the basic objective of interrupt? You have already covered in the interrupt chapter, because it's the most important chapter of your 8085 microprocessor module, right? You have already covered what you have covered in interrupt chapter. You have covered that what is the need of the interrupt, what do you mean by the interrupt, what are the interrupt pins available in 8085. You have already able to segregate the different types of interrupt, that means software interrupt, hardware interrupt, and maskable interrupt, non-maskable interrupt, and the last one was I think it was vectored and non-vector interrupt, right? Vectored and non-vectored interrupt. Okay, so you have already known this, right? What are the significance of their names, why it is called vectored, why it is called non-vectored, and why it is called maskable and non-maskable, and why software and hardware, right? Okay, so picking the point, that is hardware interrupt. Okay, so you have already came to know that for interrupt purpose 8085 has some pins over there, right? So if you see the block diagram, if you see the architecture of 8085, you will see, please recall that that I have covered in our first lecture, right, in the class, that the upper block, that upper block, it was interrupt control, and the beside block was, what was this? This was serial communication, right? And in serial communication, there was two pins. One was SID and another one was SOD, right? Serial input data and serial output data. But this block we have already unfortunately covered in our previous lecture, right? Yesterday we have already covered the serial communication part with 8251. But today we will concentrate on that block that was the upper portion of that architecture of 8085, and that is the interrupt control block, right? Okay, so in interrupt control block, we have already seen that some hardware pins will be there, right? And that was INTR, INTA bar, and among of them, some are incoming and some are outgoing, right? And beside that, there was RST 7.5, 6.5, 5.5, and the most important was trap. Right, so we have already covered this portion in the interrupt section, right? Okay, but today we are going to learn again an interrupt controller. Why we will teach this, why we will know this interrupt control block? Because 8085 itself has some interrupt pins for this interrupting portion, for covering this interrupting portion. But if we want to interface more than 2 or 3 devices, say we are going to interface 7 or 8 devices with 8085, right? So at a time, the more not that much of pins are not available in 8085, okay? Because 8085 has limited hardware pins, right? So what are they? They are trap, RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5. So the count is 4. So only 4 pins are there for interfacing any external device to the 8085, right? So if we want to interface more than 4 devices, okay, so what we will do? We will take the help of some another device that will help us to interface that external device to the 8085, right? So here in the middle portion, the programmable device will be replaced by this 8259. Okay, so what is the funda? What is the objective of that? It is nothing but helps us to connect more than one devices, more than 4 devices at a time to the 8085, right? So what we will get the advantage from the 8259, it will help us in such a way that it will supply some extra pins, some extra input interrupt request pins through which the external devices can be easily connected to the 8085, right? So for that purpose, we must go through the block diagram, the pins and the signals that will be exchanged in between that external device to the 8085 via 8259. That we have already covering in each and every peripheral section of interfacing, right, each and every day. So I think you are very used to this interfacing part, that what is the process. The same process will be followed in 8259 also, right? Okay, so please go to some points. That is I have already told that in a system the interrupts are used to handle routine on a priority basis, right? Then what is the priority? Because we have already know the we have this term is already known to us, because on priority basis 8085 will entertain the interrupt, right? And up to this you have known that there are 4 hardware pins, right? But before that, which one have the higher priority? That is trap. After that, RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5. Okay, so here also the same process will be followed. For this purpose, processor has maskable and non-maskable interrupt, obviously, because what we have learned, that is the trap is non-maskable interrupt, but except trap, all the interrupts are maskable interrupts, means you can enable or disable according to your choice, right? And using what instructions can be used for that? For this purpose, for masking and non-masking, you can use the instruction that is rim and seam, right? You have already covered it. Okay, So in this 8259, in this PIC, means programmable interrupt controller, the same facilities are there. Okay, so processor has maskable and non-maskable interrupt. However, the processor has a limited number of interrupts that I have already covered, because in 8085 there are only 4 pins, right? So for application that use interrupt for multiple sources, right? So the hardware can use the external device that is programmable interrupt controller. তাহলে the most important thing is that for more multiple sources, so this is the main term. For multiple sources we can take the help from 8259, and that will fulfill our requirement. Okay, so we have already known the objective of PIC. Now it's a simple pin diagram. I have done a very simpler for your purpose. It's a very simple pin diagram, and 8259 there are 28 pins. Okay, 28 pins. Please see, please go through the pin diagram, and please notice the what are the signals I have written over here against each pins of 1 to 14 and 15 to 28, and I think that you will gain some idea about the process of how the 8259 can be interfaced with 8085, right? Okay, so let's start. Please see some common section. First, identify the common section, because using that common section our interfacing will be very easier, right? Okay, so please, in the left hand section, please see this portion: D7, D6, D5, D4, D3, D2, D1 and D0, right? So what are these? This is the simple data bus, right? So these data will be used for what purpose? For what purpose? For transmission of the data, right? For transmission of the data, but its nature is bidirectional, right? So it can be used from 8085 to 8259, or vice versa, means from 8259 to 8085 is also possible, right? So this is a bidirectional nature. So what we can say, we can say that the bidirectional data bus lines D0 to D7 for transferring the data in between your 8259 and 8085 and vice versa, right? Okay, so this portion has covered. Now this write bar and read bar, what are these signals? I think the answer is very easy. What is this? These are nothing but the control signals. I have again repeating this in every module. I am repeating this one, this term, the control signal, right? So read bar and write bar are nothing but the control signal for read operation and write operation, right? It's okay. If we want to read take the data from 8259, then it's a read operation, and if we want to write the data from 8085 to 8259, this will be write operation. Simple. Okay, and according to the, depending on the operation, our signal will be active low, because these are active low signal. If we put it 0, then the signal or operation or the function will be active, right? Okay, next I am coming to most important part that are also known to you, that is where is the part? Yes, this one, INTA bar and INT, because this is an interrupt controller, right? A programmable interrupt controller. So based on that interrupt, the most important signals are INT and INTA bar. Now what are these? What is the significance of INT? What is this? This is nothing but interrupt request, right? This is nothing but interrupt request. So we can also write it in such a way, INTR. I think it's very clear. I think it's very clear at this time, right? INT or INTR are both the same signal, right? So interrupt request signal. And what is this interrupt request signal? What is the funda? What is the objective? This interrupt request is the output line connected to the processor, right? So it's coming from where? It's coming from the external device. It's coming from the external device via 8259 to ask 8085 some data is there for waiting. Some data is waiting for 8085. Okay, so this is the asking signal, nothing but the interrupting signal, right? So interrupting the 8085, right? So it's nothing but the output signal from this 8259 to the 8085, because here is 8085, here is 8259, and here is your, in the right hand side is the external device, right? That is going to interrupt 8085. Okay, so INT is nothing but the interrupt request signal to the 8085. Okay, now in order to answer these request signal, what is the acknowledgement signal? That is INTA bar. We have already covered in our interrupt section. INTA bar, right? So INTA bar, this is from where to where? These will be generated, or these will be initiated from 8085 to the 8259. Yes, the 8085 will accept the data, and after getting the acknowledgement, the data from 8259 will be transmitted to 8085. Simple, right? So this is the asking signal, and this is the answering signal, right? It is asking that the data is waiting, and the answering or acknowledgement signal is INTA bar, right? Okay, so we have covered some important signals, and VCC ground or for every IC is there. It's a mandatory signals, and otherwise, okay, and there is yes, this portion, right? That means IR7 to IR0, right? Because this is a very it's covering a large section, a large pins of 8259, right? So what is this IR7 to IR0? I think from the name it's clear that what is IR, right? Because IR means interrupt request. Okay, so if we use the 8259 pin with an extra care, then we will take the advantage of use extra 8 external pins for connecting our external source, right? Then so we can say that we can use these 8 interrupt signal interrupt request pins from external device, right? So we have it's a input from external device, from the input from external device. And what are the number of inputs over there? That is 8, IR0 to IR7. So 8 extra pins are there, just like your trap RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5 we can use over here with 8259. That is 8 extra interrupt request pins, through which more than 4 external source or external device can be connected with your 8085, right? And this will be very clear when we I will draw the block diagram, internal block diagram of 8259, right? Okay. So this portion have clear. Now most important one is okay, this one, that is it's a new signal, that is CS2, CS0 and CS1. It's nothing but cascading signal. CAS means cascading signal. And what are the advantage of this cascading signal? Each 8259 pins has 3 cascading signals, right? And what is the advantage of this cascading signal? If we want to use more than 1 8259 pins, right? More than 1 8259 IC, more than 1 PIC means programmable interrupt controller, then we can use these 3 pins for cascading them, right? For cascading we can use more than 1 8259 by using 3 cascading pins in the 8085, right? So this section is only for cascading more than 1 programmable interrupt controller, right? Okay, and the last one is CS bar. CS bar is very common to you, I think, now, because in each module we are using this term CS bar. CS bar is nothing but, what is this? This is a chip select bar, right? So this is a chip select bar, and this is an active low signal, because the address decoder output that will be connected internally, because we are not showing over here, because this much portion is not in your syllabus, but you are already came to know that how an IC can be on, how an IC can be active by using this chip select bar and address decoder by NAND gate or any address decoder IC, that we have already covered in memory interfacing part and also in your 8255, right? We have a very clear idea about how to on or how to active the any IC by using chip select bar. So this is nothing but chip select signal, because by getting active low means 0, it can be on, right? Okay. And I think most is covered. The last one is your SP bar or enable bar, and this is the signal that is to make is used to make the 8259 as a slave or master. But for our purpose, this will be always active high, because this is not our concern, right? So 8259 has some operating mode, in slave mode, in master mode, but this is not in your syllabus. In that mode, we can use these two signal, SP bar or enable bar. ঠিক আছে? But for our concern, it will be used in active high, right? Okay. So now I am coming to the internal block diagram of how to conduct the overall operation with 8259 between external device and 8085, right? Okay. So coming to my next part, and after that I will show, just like previously, how 8259 can be connected. It's a very simple block diagram with 8085 and what is the operations are happening over there, right? Okay. So coming to my next part, that I will show you that internal block diagram. Okay, so I am drawing for this. Okay, so I am using a red pen. Please try to understand, right? Okay. First I will complete my drawing and then I will go to explanation part. Please see how I am drawing. I'm drawing 3 boxes, but each box have unique significance. Okay. And these are your request pins, IR 0, IR 1 up to IR 7. Okay. There is another section. That is interrupt mask register. Okay, this is interrupt service register. This is parity resolver. This is interrupt request register, right? This is your here there is a control logic, and it will use 2 pins. This is the right hand section, and beside in the left hand side it will be the connecting with 8085. So this will be a common part. First, there will be data bus, very important. Next, I think you are guessing what I am going to write. Read write control logic. And what signal will be used over here? Read bar, write bar, because this is all are coming from 8085, and the another one is A0, the selection of register, and the last one will be CS bar. So very important, right? And the last and important block for cascading, this is known as cascade buffer, and 3 pins will be used. I have already covered CS0, CS1 and CS2, and another pin is slave and master. So this is the internal block diagram of your total 8259, right? I think it's understandable for you, right? It's understandable totally. So I am just explaining this block diagram, and after hearing the explanation from me, please try to write it in your own language in your copy, that what are the function of each and every block, right? I am just explaining the block very easily, right? Okay, so please concentrate on this block diagram. Please concentrate on this block diagram. Okay, so first I will concentrate on my right hand section, this one, right? What are there? We are seeing that there are some block, right? There are some register also. And what are the register? 3 types of register over there. And that is, the first one is interrupt service register, priority resolver and interrupt request register, right? Interrupt service register, priority resolver and interrupt request register. What is this? And beside that, there is another register, that is interrupt mask register. Okay? So what are the basic objective of this register? Why it is used? Okay, so I am coming to one by one, right? Okay, so first see that IRR, interrupt request register, and to which the 8 interrupt request lines are also connected, right? So here this is the middle portion, right? This is the middle portion of 8259. Here it's 8085, and the right hand side there is a external device. Okay, so whenever the external device, the requests are coming through these lines IR0 to IR7, all the requests are stored in interrupt request register. Clear? So whenever these lines go high, the requests are stored in the interrupt request register. Clear? Again, I am saying whenever these lines go high, the requests are stored in the interrupt request register. So this means that some external device are waiting over there for interrupting the 8085. Okay. Okay. After that, the interrupt service register are storing all their interrupt service register, who stores the label, all the labels that are currently being serviced. Right? So again I am saying, after storing the interrupt request, there is an interrupt service register, and that is the main part of servicing. Servicing the request to servicing the request or reaching the request to 8085 via some control logic, or by using some control logic, right? Okay, so after getting the request, ISR, that is interrupt service register, what is the function? It stores all the labels that are currently being serviced. Okay. Okay, so after that, interrupt mask register. this one, interrupt mask register. And what is the function? It is nothing but store the masking bits of the interrupt lines to be masked, right? Because interrupt is coming through the lines IR0 to IR7. But based on that, which one to be enabled, which one to be disabled, that all decisions are taken by this interrupt mask register. So IMR stores the masking bits of the interrupt lines to be masked. If any one lines are going to be disabled, it can be done by interrupt mask register, right? Okay, so after that, what is the function of this priority resolver? Now priority resolver is nothing but will examine the priority, because the requests are coming through these lines, but based on these requests or among these requests, which one interrupt will be serviced first, right? Service first, just like your trap in 8085 interrupt. So that decision is taken by this priority resolver. So what does it do? Priority resolver examines the interrupt registers and determine that whether this INTR signal should be sent to the microprocessor or not. Clear? So again I am saying, first the requests are coming, these requests are stored, and which one interrupt are being serviced, that records is stored in interrupt service register. If anyone is going to enable or disabled or masking or non-masking, that is done by interrupt mask register, and based on that, which interrupt should be serviced first, and based on that, INTR or interrupt request signal, whether it should be issued or not, that decision is taken by this priority resolver, right? So this is bidirectional nature. So after getting the signal, the control logic initiates this INTR, and that is going to the microprocessor, right? That is going to the microprocessor, means it is the outgoing signal. And after getting INTR, if 8085 wants to take the interrupt signal, then it will send the interrupt acknowledgement signal, that is from the incoming signal, that is from 8085 to the 8259. Clear? Okay, so after that, the total interrupt is processed, and after getting this acknowledgement signal, the interrupt is processed to 8085 by using this data bus buffer, because this is nothing but internal data bus, right? So through this data bus, interrupt is going, or interrupt signal is going to the 8085, means the left hand portion, right? By using this control, by using this interrupt signal, means INT or INTR, right? And after getting this control signal, if 8085 agrees with that, it will send the acknowledgement signal, and after getting acknowledgement signal, this 8259 will send the data to the 8085 via this data bus buffer. And if 8085 want to read the data, then it will initiate this read bar, right? So after, by using all these control signals, the total 8259 can be interfaced with your 8085, right? And what is this block? This block means more than one 8259 can be cascaded by using this block, because another 8259 has also this portion, CS0, CS1 and CS2, and these can be connected internally or cascading mode, and so more than one 8259 can be cascaded over here, right? And in your semester, a very important questions may come, that what are the function of the three register, means IMR, IRR and ISR, means this one and this one. So again I am saying the three important function, that is interrupt mask register. Please listen carefully. Interrupt mask register is used to program the masking of the external interrupt sources. Clear? Because if 8085 wants to enable or disable some interrupt lines, then which block will be responsible for that? That is nothing but IMR, because this is interrupt mask register. So again I am saying that interrupt mask register is used to program the masking of the external interrupt source, right? Okay, and what is the interrupt request register? The register is written into by the programmer, that is interrupt request register. ঠিক আছে, interrupt request register is used to store the interrupts that have been sensed by 8259 at its inputs. Clear? So what is the function of IRR, interrupt request register? Interrupt request register is nothing but used to store the interrupts or interrupt request that have been sensed by this 8259, okay, at its inputs through IR0 to IR7. Clear? And what is in service register? Interrupt service register is nothing but it maintains a list of the interrupts that are currently being serviced and corresponding service routine is being executed. Because this ISR is very known term to you, right? Because interrupt service routine, I think it's a very popular term. Whenever we taught the interrupt in your class, ISR was a very important term, is a very known term to you, because by based on the interrupt pin, the corresponding ISR is generated, because to which location the new program will be started, right? By using a subroutine call and return instruction. I think everyone are able to recalling that, right? So it's the same function of this ISR, because whenever the request is coming and request is stored, and after getting the output from IMR, ISR will decide that which interrupt is going to be serviced and the corresponding service routine is being executed. And after that, based on the interrupt service routine, this INTR or INTR request, this interrupt request will be issued, and that will be go to the 8085, and from 8085 the acknowledgement signal is coming, that is INTR bar. Okay, so this is a very simple process that we have followed, we had followed for 8085 interrupt, and the same will be continued for your 8259 interfacing also, right? So your task will be to write the whole process in your own language, right? And in my every lecture I am giving the this writing portion, but in this lecture I will not do this, because it's your task to write in your own language the whole function of interfacing this 8259 to the 8085, right? So what we have learned today? We have learned the new interfacing of programmable device, that is nothing but 8259, and which is also known in short PIC, programmable interrupt controller. What is the pin diagram, what is the objective, why we will use, where is this application, and the interfacing block diagram, right? So I will pack up my lecture by a small recapitulation that what we have covered. What is a simple process? Means nothing but the interrupt request is coming, interrupt request is stored, the interrupt mask register is checking the masking or non masking. If any enable but disable is done, it will be done by the interrupt mask register. Based on that, interrupt service register or in service register, that will generate the interrupt service routine based on the interrupt being served, and the priority resolver will check that which interrupt will be giving the first priority, and based on that the control logic will generate the INTR or request signal that will interrupt 8085 that some data is coming or some external device is waiting for it, and then if it is agreed, some acknowledgement signal will be coming from 8085 to the 8259, and based on that the data will be transferred to the 8085 through this data bus buffer, and because of its bidirectional nature, right? And after that 8085 can read the data by issuing that control signal. Okay, and the last important part, that means all the chip can be selected by this chip select signal and using the address decoding portion. So here A0 and CS bar are used to select the registers and as well as the 8259 IC, right? So I think there will be no doubt. Please go through my lecture again and again, and please continue, and please complete the task of write the function in your own language, total interfacing block diagram, and the function of the three registers, that is in service register, interrupt request register, and interrupt mask register. Okay, so after this, enjoy. Thank you.